Hello everyone. Today we're starting a new challenge in the colony sim known as Norland. In this series, I wanted to explore some of the new changes to mechanics by pushing the AI to reach its highest potential from day one. In order to achieve this, we'll be making a number of sandbox changes to the rulers of all foreign cities to create a world at war scenario. Before we get to all of that, we need to create our family. If you've watched the previous challenges on this channel, you might recall that some constraints I placed on myself increased the runtime of these series. While this was enjoyable, this series has a different focus that I'll be explaining in more detail in a few minutes, so we are going to be giving ourselves the best head start possible. To achieve this, we'll need 4 family members, so we're going to be starting with the 3 brothers and a wife template. Of course, we start off with our king, who we're going to name Radibor, an intelligent and management-oriented Varn who is both monogamous and lustful. Our queen, Zivka, is also intelligent and a proficient trader who has high fertility and is also lustful. Due to the age we're starting our characters at, this will be important to ensure we can acquire an heir before infertility occurs. Next up is our first brother, who will be a great commander but also a strong warrior, while our second brother will be a great warrior but also a strong commander. Both will also be reckless and nervous. Reckless will improve their bravery in a fight, and nervous is unlikely to be an issue as long as we ensure their needs are met. The last thing we need to do before we can discuss the scenario we're making is pick our starting location. Because the aim is for a chaotic world from day one, we don't want to have too many neighbors who will be trying to invade anyone they can. This really leaves us with 5 main starting locations. Arden with 2 neighbors, Orneamia, Faranuk, Reckon, and Turno with 3. Faranuk is a bit too central, while Reckon and Turno will hurt us too much on critical resources. This leaves the first 2 we mentioned, and they're quite similar. Arden would provide us with 1 fewer neighbor and a little bit more iron, while Neomia would provide us with a little more lumber. We don't want to make things too easy for ourselves, so a small handicap in having an extra neighbor and less iron that we can offset with a village tribute works just fine for us. Finally, we can craft the world we'll live in for the playthrough. We'll be making every king in the world ambitious and give them the highest army strength and starting city size possible, 300%. Ambitious makes these foreign kings highly talented and aggressive towards not just us, but everyone neighboring them. I briefly tested this in a save, and it not only makes them strong from the start, but gives them a high base strength even if you wipe out their army. This means completely conquering or burning them to the ground is the only way to get lasting peace. I also renamed all cities to mirror capital cities of major countries involved in World War I. Hopefully this will make it easier to follow what's going on around the map. With the stage set, we can pick our capital, which we'll rename to Castellio. We're going to leave the village tributes the game has recommended for us, since herbs and iron are likely to be our scarcest resource, especially with essentially no shot at being able to use trade routes. As for our banner, we'll go with a white stag on a red and black background, which feels fitting for a Varn ruler that has a hidden strength. Finally, we can set our game parameters. Nothing too fancy here, but we will go with the Sword's Path scenario, which makes Radibor and his brothers exiled bastards. This will affect others' opinions of them, including Zivka's, and a lack of basic resources, but we'll start with crucially needed warriors and weapons to defend Castellio. For modifiers, we'll take excess iron to ensure steady iron for armament production, old grudges to make the culture system more important by increasing xenophobia of disliked cultures, fast metabolism to increase experience gain, which will allow us to progress through the early game faster and get to the action the series is geared towards, and longevity to slow aging to offset the quicker aging from fast metabolism. We'll also be playing in hardcore difficulty. Lastly, we will take 5,000 gold so we don't have to spend multiple episodes slowly building an economy. Now we can start the game and our World at War series. So here we are in Castellio, and the first thing we have to do is kind of assess the amount of resources that we have. It seems like we don't have a whole lot of wood. I actually don't even know if this is enough to get us the library, so we're going to probably have to push for the lumber mills first, and probably take a couple days to accumulate a little bit of lumber before we can even start to research things. I don't think the hall actually costs anything to create, so maybe we can get the library done. But the thing about that is, depending on what the price is, we may have to go for the lumber mills first anyways, because obviously you have to use lumber to build the lumber mills, and we don't want to run out of lumber and be unable to get more without paying for it. Additionally, we are probably going to be okay in this series. We have some nice fertile land right here, so we're going to be okay as far as food goes, I think. The main things that are going to be hindering us is our ability to make medical salves, which we have a little bit of bushes. Let's see where those are. Let's see, where are you at? Down here it looks like. This may be the only patch. It probably is the only patch. Does seem to be. And then of course we have our iron over here. So as you can see, it's going to be stretching us kind of thin around this map. I'm not going to be planning the layout too much because, as you can see, we have a ton of land that we can actually push into. It's just about which direction we want to go. I think we will just have the iron mine and otherwise kind of just push down into this region. But the only other thing that I think is going to be an issue is weaponry. But we do have iron here, and it should have a nice amount of iron in there for us to mine and to be able to just make what we need. We're not going to be super aggressive, at least not early. We are going to be defending, and I actually do want to show you guys before we get started with anything else, the map. So, as you can see, we have all these guys. They're all aggressive. Everybody on the map is aggressive. Rome, London, and Paris are our first neighbors. And then, of course, we will have all these people to deal with at some point. I have no idea what's going to happen here. I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of raids first, because, as you can see, most of these people are relatively even looking as far as strength goes. They have some decent armored foes, and they have a decent overall combat score as well. So they might just end up raiding, and because of that, we're going to need to build up an army pretty quickly to be able to defend if they decide to raid our villages. Because if that happens, we won't be accumulating all this iron and all of this, these herbs, and that would not be very good for us. As you can see, we have the lowest population. We are at a population score of 1. They have 6, so that is going to be another issue. 13 soldiers, 14, and another 15 here, so that is another kind of thing. We do have 10. We have 10, so that's not too bad. These are actually pretty decent looking warriors as well. Let's see here. So it does look like the knight system looks a lot better. I like how I think the culture icon is a little bit more clear now. And of course, if you saw my update video, you will know that these are now hired for 10 days and that there are no taxes at all. So that is going to be great. As well, the way workplaces is displayed is a little different. So we have -4. We have 2 little workspaces right now. And as well, migration has changed rather substantially. So, I'm hoping that we can actually see a lot bigger of a population. I was never able to get much above 100. I mean, I was never really trying for pure population, but it would be nice to be able to get it well over 100 this time. So we'll see how that goes. Being Varns, I think we can just focus on our population for the most part, but we are going to need to hire some people to defend ourselves, like I said, so we're not going to worry too much right now about the culture, as long as we're not pushing out. We have only Varn warriors right now, so we could probably pick up at least 1 Tanea, and maybe even more. Let's see. I guess it's not exactly sorted by their combat skill anymore. That's a little strange. I know every single one of them does have a command skill as well. So maybe that's why. Let's see. Command skill of 2. This one has 4, so that's not why. I'm not really sure what is up with that sort. It's a little strange, but we will also take this guy, and I think that should be good. That's 13. Maybe we'll go 1 more. Let's see, who's the best here? I don't really like this sortation here. We'll take this guy, and that should be okay. And then you can also, for a lump sum, so this is the cost, and you can actually just bring these peasants at any time into your army, and they will lose that fear of death after a certain amount of days, and you will not have to hire them every certain amount of days. You will just pay this amount, and they will stay in your army forever. So that is definitely another nice way to build an army from scratch. So I think what we're going to do, we need to place, of course, our hall, and we're just going to place it right here. We're not going to do anything too crazy. We'll place that there. We'll probably end up placing like the library and maybe the lord houses back here. And we're going to move... Actually, we'll just leave it here for now. But we will probably move the dormitory stuff over to here. And maybe the barracks can go over here as well. We'll leave the market where it's at for now. We'll just leave everything pretty much for right now. We can move this stuff later. I will probably move these roads. We're just going to go ahead and let this build. Okay, the hall is just about done, and I do need to wait until it's completely done before I can put somebody on there for the management. We're going to put Radibor on this Rutabaga field now, though, and that should get us back to even on the workplaces. I did just want to focus all the builders over to here. But now we can go ahead and start on the rutabaga field, and I did just want to check again. So I was going to show you this a moment ago, but I got distracted telling you other things. So not only does the aggression affect us, but as you can see, so if you click a city, you can actually see their relation with another city. So as you can see, because the other ruler is a non-entity, I don't know why that's the flavor text, but basically that is because of the ambitious trait or whatever. It causes them to dislike each other as well. Now, as you can see, because we are Varn, these guys hate us even more. But as you can see, any other ruler is a non-entity, hated culture, and we are also a bastard. So they hate us quite a bit, just because of all that. But otherwise, for the most part, all these people are going to not really be super friendly with each other, and that should cause a lot of issues down the line. Nobody should be able to trade. I don't think any. I don't even think. Let's see, because these two are Caden, so they kind of like each other, but that's still minus 35. The chances that these two manage to do any kind of diplomacy to fix that is, I feel it's rather slim. So I think this should be enough to make the entire world basically constantly in a state of war. And we can already see one village there is burnt. This one's burnt. Another one here. So that's already several villages, and it's not even the end of the first day. So this is possibly going to be how the rest of the game goes, where nobody has any villages, and then they will, once they run out of villages to attack, I imagine they'll start attacking each other's cities, even if it costs them a lot. So we'll have to see how that goes. But the hull is done, so let's go ahead and put Ratibor on that, and you can also contain migration now as well. I think that this is all migration. Migrants will enter the city freely and become full citizens, yes. So you do have to, I think you have to surround yourself with gates. Yeah, they'll gather at the gates, okay. So that's another thing that you'll have to decide whether you want to do. I don't think I'm going to make much use of it. I know a lot of people like to do the xenophobia thing where you basically stop migration so that you don't get any other cultures. I don't really mind it too much. Even when we have old grudges on, you know, I don't mind the little revolts every now and then. I actually think that is rather fun. But either way, we got the hall done. So now we need to look at the library, which is 40. Okay, so I was right. It is going to be expensive. So we'll just go with the lumber mills for now. And we'll just place... should we do it close or put it a little farther out? We're going to end up moving them anyways, I think. So we'll just keep them somewhat close for now so that we can move the lumber back to our storage quickly. I did not mean to knock down that tree, but we'll build 2 of them for now. And we are going to need another dormitory as well, since, like I said, we are going to be planning to move things around at some point. We'll just place this down over here. We don't need a lord house yet, but I would like a barracks to deal with. We don't want any of our warriors to leave, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then I don't think there's anything else we need at the moment except for the tavern. Everything else we should probably try to save. So what we're going to do, we're going to need to actually snooze this completely. We'll set this to build first, and we'll set this to build first. And that should be okay for the moment. So we're going to wait for this stuff to get built and everything, but we will go to the trader in the meantime. Okay, so here we are at the trader, and I don't think I'm going to bother with really selling anything except for this paper. We don't really need the paper because we're not going to be doing trade routes, and I don't even think we're going to have the chancellery for a while. Otherwise, book-wise, do we need all these? I think we do, yes. Maybe not the keeping prisoners. We'll see how that goes exactly. It depends on how often we choose to attack other cities and everything, but we'll see how that goes. We may do some raiding, actually, come to think of it, so yeah, we'll keep that. Herbalist, do we already have that book? We don't. We're gonna want it. Palisades, we'll do that eventually, but not yet. Peasants' houses, no, we don't need those yet. So that's all good there. Should we just maybe buy a little bit of wood? We do have money, but I would like to hold on to it. We're gonna buy another mace. And otherwise, that should be okay for the moment. Yes, I think that should be fine. Okay, so I am just now looking at the map again. As you can see, look at this. Possible loot is 86 in rye right here, and 41 in hops right here. If we go over 47, 13 meat would actually not be half bad. That would actually probably result in us getting a lot more peasants as well, because the mood system has also changed. So now it's not it still prevents you from getting migrants if you're low mood, but it doesn't cause everybody to necessarily freak out quite as much. But having meat would probably cause us to get a whole lot more migration, because I think I don't know the exact amount. For every 2 mood points above 30, 1 migrant will arrive. So if the average mood is between 30 and 40, 1 migrant will arrive. Okay, so we're between 58, so that should be 3, yes. So if we get that up really, really high, we could even be getting maybe even like 5 peasants potentially. So that would be pretty good. These guys are returning. They must have attacked somebody. Yeah, wow, look at that. Look at all these villages that are getting burnt. So we may, if we're going to do it, we may want to do it soon, because it looks like all these villages are going to get attacked. And that would be more meat. Who would be the easiest to attack? That's the question. We don't want to necessarily provoke anybody too strong to attack us yet, but yeah, how long do we have on these guys? 18 hours. I mean, we could just take this, but we don't even have the ability to do anything with it yet. That's the issue. Okay. I mean, this would be the easiest one. We could try, just to see. And that way we're doing something with our people here. So Dewar. We'll take Vitamir, and we'll just take these guys. We'll keep a couple just in case. And we'll just send some armor, and we'll send these swords, because they won't have any weaponry. We'll send the shields as well. That looks pretty good. It's saying 53%. Is there a reason for that? I think it's kind of overestimating these guys, maybe. 53% seems a little ridiculous. Is there... Hold on, we'll check out the mood. Okay, it's the mood. Okay, I mean, I guess we'll see, you know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we made it over to Stonefield. We'll just jump on in. Yeah, so I think our mood's increased a little bit. So this should be fine. Yeah, I think it's just kind of overestimating them. They just have daggers, and they have, what, 2 bowmen? 3 bowmen. I don't think this should be much of an issue. Did he die? No, he's not dead. Okay. This should be okay. It's unfortunate that we lost somebody, but that's how it goes sometimes. Looks like we are taking a prisoner, 2 prisoners, 3 prisoners. Oh, they don't actually take prisoners in raids, do they? Oh, they do, okay. It didn't show up that screen, so I wasn't sure. But either way, we get a little bit of rye that we're not going to be able to use for a little while. But I just figure we don't have anything else for Dewar and Vitamir to really do, so this will keep them happy, if nothing else. Okay, so the lumber mills are getting built, and we'll put Radibor on this one. We are going to upgrade this one. That'll basically use up the rest of the wood that we have. And we do have some extra workplaces, unfortunately. Not much we can really do about that at the moment. Oh, it looks like London has chosen to suddenly attack us. They're attacking with 10. Versus, oh yeah, we do have 2 people that are injured. Hopefully those people are getting given medical salves. He's one of them. He doesn't have the inflamed wind, though. I'm not sure where this guy actually is. Okay, it's these 2, and they are actually going to get their medical salves. So, okay, we are going to need to wait for them, hopefully. Okay, they can join again. And we have 6 hours, so unfortunately I think they're going to make it in time, yeah. They might end up showing up before these guys end up completing their attack, but probably not. Yeah, 5 hours. Okay, so we'll wait until they get a little closer and we'll start putting together our little army. Okay, so our nod here is about 2 hours away, and I want to give our guys a chance to get all gathered and everything like that. So we'll set up Dewar with Vitamir and the entire squad, of course. And all these armored people. Put the swords. I should have probably checked first if these are all armored people or not. We're not going to worry about bows. We are in a defensive position and everything, but I don't think that we really need to use any bows. Oh, looks like, yeah, they are not armored. Not very well. So the swords should be fine here. Okay, I guess they actually are armored. Okay, well, this is going to be very difficult, actually, if they are all armored. Yeah, we're outnumbered. Ooh, I really hope these guys make it in time. This is gonna be bad if not. Because that way I could disband in time. Let's see. Okay, the hired warriors arrived. So that gives us 4 more people. This is still gonna be rough, though. It's still gonna be very rough, actually. So Dewar, we need Vitamir in here. And all these shields. Okay, we have enough weapons. We'll take the spears out. Put 1 bow in there, I guess. This appears to be the best that we can really do. Let's get all these guys in here. Has everybody got their stuff together? It looks like they have. Alright, we're going to go right here since they're going to come this way. And let's hope this works. Target archers. Protect the archers. We only have 1. Where is the archer? Yeah, it looks like we're going to get folded here, honestly. I hope none of our people get... Oh, okay, wait. Maybe they are starting to fall off. Okay, I thought we were going to actually get messed up there. We didn't even lose a single person. I don't know where our archer went. They couldn't have been in there because... Do we have 14 people? 7... Wait, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So where'd that bowman go? I have no idea. Either way, doesn't really matter too much. The bowman probably wouldn't have done a whole lot there. It is kind of weird too. When you move just slightly too far away, the battle noises just stop. Pretty sure that is a change from before. But either way, let's see if we're going to get any armors out of these guys. I think you have to have the temple, and then you burn them, and then you get the things that they wore, or maybe they just take them now. It looks like we are yes, we're getting some heavy armor now. Okay. Well, that is very good for us. That's very good. So we have 15 wood right now. We'll start this upgrade, and then tomorrow, hopefully at the end of the day, we can start on the library. Okay, and it looks like Arnaud is already trying to escape from captivity right now. And it looks like he is going to get away. Yes. Okay, well. I'm not actually too worried about that. He can get away. Yeah, he got away, so that is a thing. It would have been nice to ransom him, but that's okay. As long as we took out most of their army. Yeah, so as you see, we took out probably all of their army, but they are already back to 12. So they have a very high floor to their army and everything. So it's not like taking them out really does a whole lot. Although maybe they just added soldiers naturally, because these guys are also up to 24. I'm not totally sure. We'll need to keep an eye on that and see if we can completely zero them or not. Now, just taking a look at our warriors, we have another one with an inflamed wound, and we have no medical salves left. We do need to check our finance, just to make sure none of them are going to the trading trader. But everything else is probably fine for now. We're not going to mess with any of it. We can't produce anything yet. We are just kind of waiting around. I think this is probably where we're going to call it for this episode. Now, I know I mentioned in previous videos that I was planning on releasing some guides and things like that. I don't want to make any further promises on that. Basically, a lot of the stuff that I wrote down isn't really applicable anymore with the current with the current build because of just how many changes there have been, and I don't want to make a promise on when I will actually do those, just because I've never done a guide video to begin with. I do want to make sure it is ironed out and none of the information is incorrect. I'm guessing, I'm thinking that after the game has been out for a little over a year, so that'll be around August timeframe. Once I'm sure that the update, the amount of updates is going to slow down considerably, I may go ahead and try to remake it and everything and make it all nice and release it then. Maybe release a couple of different videos. But until then, for the moment, I am going to just be back to the series, and hopefully that's okay with everybody. I just don't want to put out any information that is going to be outdated and things like that. So for the moment, no guide videos. Hopefully that's alright for everybody. But hopefully you guys are excited, as I am, for this series, the World at War series, and I think it's going to be rather interesting. I think it's going to be something that can really push the limits of the AI and see exactly what they are capable of. And as you can see, I mean, they suddenly attacked us, even though we had our full army at home. They just suddenly attacked us, rather even numbers and everything. If we didn't get those extra soldiers, we might have been zeroed right there. We may have already been killed. Either way, that's going to be it for this episode. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.